Mother Teresa described poor children as Jesus in a distressing disguise. Nearly 20% of the children in St. Joseph County live in poverty. Their families face economic insecurity daily, lacking financial, educational, and emotional resources, often caught in a cycle of poverty with no discernible escape. These families turn to the Christ Child Society of South Bend, coming away with warm clothing and some relief from the pressures of surviving day to day. Christ Child is dedicated to bringing light into the lives of the families it serves. Since 1947, Christ Child has provided for the poor children of our area, starting with 14 women sewing layettes for infants, to 500 members providing clothing for nearly 5,000 infants and children every year. The organization's mission outgrew members' homes, then a vacant church, and now fills Old St. Patrick's School. Back-to-school sales are harbingers of the first day of school. For many children, they reinforce feelings of inadequacy and hopelessness.
Families in the area know Christ Child is a source for new clothes, coats, shoes, a place where the children are special, worthy of new, not secondhand. From August through January, they line up to get their children not just clothes, but the bounciness of shiny new shoes, the warmth of a red coat with a fur-trimmed hood, the coziness of a blanket sleeper, the joy of something new, something all mine.
I come here for my kids for basically mainly winter coats, because when you have a lot of kids like me, coats are expensive, so that's mainly why I come here. But it's a good experience and it's a good cause, especially for people that can't afford multiple things for multiple kids.
In the shoe department, all the children get a pair of new sneakers, and they get either a used pair of shoes or a used pair of boots. And we heard last year that we experienced last year was a little girl came in and she tried on some shoes and she was jumping up and down and she said, "Mommy, these are the shoes that we couldn't afford last week." So she was so excited. And the little children that do come in, when they do try on their shoes, they do get very excited and are thrilled to get the shoes.
The clothing room is a wonderful place to volunteer in because we're providing new clothing for children who don't have the means to have it otherwise. And they go to school feeling better about themselves. Our buyers are certain that they buy beautiful items for the children. They receive jeans, sweatshirts, t-shirts. They receive underwear and socks, toothbrush, toothpaste, and all of our good wishes for the school year.
I have worked in every room except layettes. That's my goal, is to work in layettes. I have enjoyed every single room. I've enjoyed the people I worked with. I enjoyed learning the difference between handing out new shoes and can we add a pair of used shoes and who needs it the most, and the looks on the faces. No matter what you're giving them, the people are appreciative. I have yet to have somebody that I felt had an attitude. They have just all been thankful, and they can't say thank you enough. Some mothers have had tears in their eyes. It doesn't matter where you're working in this building, that is so worth it.
All coats come with hat and mittens. Some of the darker colored coats are paired with bright scarves that were made by Christ Child members.
And how do your kids react when they get the new clothes?
They're happy. They're excited when they come home and they'll see it and they'll be happy. So it means a lot to see them happy too for me. So they, they have what they need for school, so I'm happy that they're happy.
The used clothing come from all our parishes, our schools, and individuals, garage sales, all over. And we always ask for nice, used, good clothing from size infants to size 20.
The layettes are distributed through the 2 hospitals in St. Joseph County, St. Joseph Regional Medical Center and Memorial Hospital, and the social workers at the hospitals designate the mothers who qualify to receive them. We give them sleep and plays, receiving blankets, socks, onesies, a book to read, and a health and safety packet for these mothers. We We also include a set of used clothes. If this happens to be the first child, they will have used clothes in a 3, 6, 9, even up to 12-month size for the child to wear. Angel layets are distributed to any child who does not survive birth. If there is a miscarriage or a baby who dies shortly after delivery, these are given to the parents for the child to wear. It is a handmade gown, hat, and receiving blanket, and a book to console the parents on this loss. We understand that frequently the clothes are put on the baby, and then the hat, for instance, might be removed and saved as the only thing that this child has been able to wear.
Oh, it's amazing working with all the families, seeing these little kids and the look on their face when they get their new coat on, and it's wonderful seeing what we can do for people who are really suffering in this economy.
Well, and giving money is important, but when you hand a set of new clothes to a child, it's pretty special.
About 7 years ago, a program was organized called the Success Program. It built on a relationship that had existed for several years prior to that, where Christ Child members came in kind of informally into St. Adalbert School and worked in various capacities. There was such a need for support for the children. So many of our children come from non-English speaking backgrounds, and so their first exposure to English language and reading comes at school. And so the teachers, as hard as they work, just aren't able to give all the support to the children that they are in need of. So Christ Child began to look at this need and put together a program called Success, whereby tutors come in, work with a child or a small group 1 day a week. They're in for about an hour, and they do whatever the teacher asks them to do. It might be reading with the child, it might be reading to the child, giving them a little bit of kind of mini instruction, maybe working with flashcards, whatever it is that the teacher suggests.
In April 2011, I became the first Christ Child Society Scholarship recipient. I'm thankful for the scholarship. It gave me an opportunity to pursue my education and to be a mother as well to my children, which otherwise I would not have been able to do. I'm grateful for it and for the opportunity that they're allowing other young mothers to have as well.
We raise all the funds for the clothing that is in our clothing center. We do not, 100% of our fundraising buys the clothes for the center. And we get no money from any federal funds or state funds or United Way or any other organization.
We support Christ Child because I think the goals and the vision of Christ Child match with our philosophy, which is if you have the means, you should be helping neighbors, you should be helping those people who are in need, and it's a wonderful organization and it's done a lot of good for the kids in the South Bend area.
When I walk in that glass door down that hallway, I just feel Christ's presence. I feel His arms wrap around me, and I know it's wrapped around everybody here. You know, wherever two or more are gathered in my name, and that's why we are here, is to follow Christ, what He wants out of us, to love one another. And you're here, and everybody's here for the same reason. Everybody's working just as hard as their neighbor, and I just can't get enough out of it. I wish I had more hours to spend here.
For the sacrifice of your own only child, all children everywhere throughout the world, and grant that, like your Son, as they increase in years, they may grow in grace and wisdom before you, and in the sight of all, for the improvement and saving of the world. Jesus, the friend of little children, bless the little children of the whole world. Pray for us.
As long as there are children in need and we have the support of our generous community, the Christ Child Society will continuously strive to fulfill its mission, challenging poverty one child at a time.